Welcome to Cigar Audit. Matt's here to review the AJ Fernandez New World in Bellicoso. This is a fairly well-known cigar, and it's known for being a reasonably priced cigar with high-quality craftsmanship as well as good flavors, fairly complex flavors. Little background on the cigar: it is a Nicaraguan Puro, and for obvious reasons, it is named after Christopher Columbus's exploration that ended up in the Americas. Now, for those of us that know history, we do know that the Norwegians and the Vikings discovered America before Christopher Columbus, but it's not a popular tale. So look it up if you wish. But anyway, in regards to this stick, it is a box-pressed, rectangle-shaped cigar, and provides definitely a barnyard smell to it, an earthy barnyard. And the cigar itself is fairly dark brown, with very minimal veins. The seams are extremely tight, almost invisible except for down by the cap. And it looks like it's a big double cap. So a nice looking cigar. Looking forward to cutting it up, seeing how it tastes. Cold draw definitely gives you a woody note. Obviously natural tobacco, and some subtle sweetness to it. So it's got a little sweetness to it, but you can definitely tell there's a type of earthy note to it. So let's get it toasted up. Well, right away, lots of smoke. The draw is great, not too open, not too close, so it's just right. And definitely getting that woody note. A little bit of earth and espresso, so definitely the darker flavors, a darker profile. And through the nose, you definitely get continued that earthy note to it, but you also get a little bit of the spice, a little bit of sweet spices, a little bit, just a hint of black pepper, not much yet. And the smoke is quite thick, and silky smooth. You know, texture of the draw is definitely a creamy texture. There's no creamy flavor yet, but definitely a creamy texture. There in the retrohale, you got your white pepper note that came through, and the finish is pretty long. The finish lasts till the next draw, so it's definitely right off the bat a medium full flavored cigar. Again, this is the Bellicoso, and we're down to, this one is a 5.5 by 55. Now, because of the way that this is shaped, it does not feel like a 55 at all. But I understand how that probably would be the case because it is so wide, more of a rectangle box press. So. And that was good there. A little bit of cocoa in that one, and some cinnamon on the draw. So very nice. So far, so good. So we'll get further down in this cigar, and I'll let you know how it progresses. Welcome back to Cigar Audit. Matt here to go over the New World by AJ Fernandez in Bellicoso. So so far, actually I went a little more than the first third. It's very tasty. Lots of espresso notes on the draw. You definitely get a little bit of cocoa, like a dark cocoa, and you get a general spice, kind of a mixture of black pepper and sweet spices. The retrohale, you definitely get some signs of white pepper, black pepper, and the cocoa, almost like a cocoa powder, which is quite enjoyable. And the finish is really an earthy, earthy and black pepper, white pepper, definitely a little bit of the espresso, coffee bean type flavor, and it definitely is a long finish. So if you don't like a cigar that has a long lingering finish, this probably isn't the right one for you. But smokes well, construction is great, draw is great, the burn is pretty good. In fact, I had the first ash fell off pretty quickly, which surprised me, maybe 1/4 of an inch. But the second section of ash was a good inch. And for the price point, you know, these are about anywhere between $5 and $7 a stick. These are very economical, tasty, a little bit of complexity so far. I haven't seen much of a transition. You know, maybe the pepper has kicked up a little bit towards the end of the first third, but in general, just a tasty stick. So we'll see if there's another transition in here other than the spiciness, and you know, we'll get back to you. It's a great, so far, great start for a medium full stick. Welcome back to Cigar Audit. Matt here to go over the second third of the AJ Fernandez New World. This cigar is definitely a darker flavored profile cigar. Lots of earthy, black coffee, some cocoa, but at this point the chocolate and cocoa has gone away, and it's mainly a black coffee with some minor sweet spices, but definitely some black pepper, little hints of cayenne pepper, which is interesting. And through the nose, you get almost an herbal, oregano type flavor that comes through the nose and is quite interesting. The finish on the cigar is very long. Very rarely will you have a finish that is in the front of your palate, moves to the back of your palate, moves to your throat, and then you're getting ready to draw. So definitely, I would say at this point it's pretty much a full-flavored cigar. Strength is medium, medium full maybe, but the flavors are definitely pretty intense. A couple of times I got some bitter notes that was beyond a bitter coffee, which is a little disappointing. But that said, burn has been good. The smoke output is good. Construction's good, so it's getting a little warm already, which is a little quick for that. But all in all, a good cigar. Matt here to finish up the AJ Fernandez New World in Bellicoso. So in general, this cigar didn't have a whole lot of transition to it. I did like the fact that you got hints of herbal notes through the nose. The finish was pretty long, complex, fairly heavy. And I did really dig the espresso, coffee, black coffee, and cocoa notes, especially in the first half of the cigar. The second half of the cigar, and especially the last third, became a little gritty, not as smooth. Definitely, I would say, dark, earthy, and nowhere near as complex as it was before. Considering it's not a super premium cigar, it's a nice cigar. I think it did pretty well. I would say overall, it's a medium full body, full at times, but for the most part medium full. And I would also say that the strength is medium full. It's got a little kick to it. You feel a little bit of it. The finish is probably the part that stays with you the longest, because the end of the finish is deep in your throat, almost a little gritty towards the end. But in general, a good cigar, a very good cigar with good profiles if you like rich flavored cigars. So in general, how do I rate the cigar? Well, I think it's a very good cigar. I don't think it's the top echelon for sure. There were a few bitter notes here and there throughout the process of smoking. I would say that this cigar, it actually is very tough to rate. The first half I would have said it's a 93, all day, and maybe 94, and it's kind of stepped back a little bit. So this particular cigar, I've had the New World before. Some are better than others. This one was probably a little less complex than some of the others I've smoked, so I'm going to go with a 91. It's a good cigar, has good flavors to it. The performance on the draw, the burn, those were all good. But it lacked complexity at times, especially in the second half of the cigar. And, got a little warm towards the end. And I know I'm being picky, but you have to recognize that this is against the echelon of great cigars too. So you can't just look at it on an everyday cheap smoke. But the value of this cigar is nice. But definitely, if you're somebody that likes a rich cigar, go to your local brick and mortar, pick up one, try it. I think this is a great size, and see if it's something that you like. And if you enjoy it, pick up a box of them. They're pretty inexpensive and well worth the money. So anyway, thank you for watching Cigar Audit. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Check us out on Facebook, and don't forget to visit cigaraudit.com. We'll see you next time.